What's up, guys? My name is Gabe and welcome into the Trojan Blade. We have some huge news as USC has announced the hiring of former LA Rams defensive line coach and run game coordinator Eric Henderson. The complete overhaul of the defensive staff continues as Lincoln Riley hits yet another moonshot, adding one of the best defensive line coaches in the entire NFL to the coaching staff. In about a month's time, this defensive staff went from extremely mid, in my opinion, to a top 10 staff in the entire country. The experience and credibility that's been added is way beyond anything I thought was possible. So very excited to get more into this with you guys today. But before we do, I do want to apologize for the lack of videos over the last week. I just finished up a road trip from Columbus out to Southern California. I'm very glad to be back home, and the normal uploads should resume, of course, up until the point I have to drive back, which should be in about a week or so. I will make sure to keep you guys updated, but thank you all so much for being here today, and let's get into this. Honestly, there's not much I could tell you about what he specifically does as a coach that gets the most out of his players, but what I can say is that you look at the kind of players he's getting big time production from. I mean, you have guys from very small schools, guys from D2, D3, a lot of schools like that, and he's getting them to fit like a glove into his defensive line and produce, which is very impressive. A lot of you watching this video are Rams fans, I assume. You guys have been watching that defensive line. If we can get SC's front to play anything like that, then we're going to be very dangerous in the Big Ten. Now, I have seen some people say, well, anybody can look good when they're coaching Aaron Donald. That's just it though. Throw Donald out of it. Let's not even talk about him here. There were still 3 other guys on the Rams with 6+ sacks. That in itself is very impressive. It shows the preparation that's going into all these guys in that entire defensive line room. It's not just the one star that's producing. When it's everybody, that's coaching. That's a lot more than just having good players in there. And another thing that I love about this fit as it specifically relates to the 2023 USC Trojans, it's that Coach Henderson has shown us that he can build and base a defensive line around a star interior player. The best lineman on our team next year looks to be Bear Alexander. He needs help. How many times last year did we see him getting double or even triple teamed out there? He needs other guys around him to step up and play better to take some pressure off of Bear. He needs to be able to move around on the line more. What about a NASCAR package on pass rushing downs? These are all things Coach Henderson is very familiar with and has put into practice at the highest level of the sport. But in college football, we know that the biggest factor is, do you have dudes or not? And in order to get dudes in today's day and age, you need one of 2 things: a hell of an NIL budget or credibility. What this hire brings is an immense amount of credibility with recruits and their families. Think about last year. You're a top defensive line recruit. Into your living room walks Alex Grinch and Roy Manning, telling you they're going to develop you into an NFL player. I mean, that's kind of laughable, right? Now you have Dan Lynn and Eric Henderson, 2 NFL guys that come from 2 of the most successful organizations in the entire sport. What a crazy shift that is. News also came out that Shaun Nua will remain on staff as the defensive ends coach, which I'm very happy about, as I'm a big fan of his, and I think he deserved to stay on with this new staff. And I just realized that I forgot to mention the official role for Coach Henderson. He will serve as the co-defensive coordinator, run game coordinator, as well as the defensive line coach. So Coach Nua with the edge rushers and ends, Henderson with the interior guys. I imagine we will continue to see a large amount of cross training, especially this first year in the system. Want to get as many guys, as many reps as possible at every single spot. So I would expect to see that. I just really can't say enough about how much Lincoln has done to overhaul and improve this defensive staff. It really is looking to be a top 10 defensive staff in the country. To recap, we hired Houston's defensive coordinator, North Dakota State's head coach, and now the LA Rams defensive line coach. That is such a huge upgrade, much greater than anything I hoped or expected for, to be honest. If anything is clear, it's that Lincoln Riley took this last year personally. He's learned a lot from it, and it seems like he's growing from it. And I think we're going to see a pissed off Lincoln Riley in 2023. Recruits may need a year or 2 for proof of concept, but I am fully confident that we are going to see a massive defensive turnaround in 2024. So guys, I do need to hear from you on this. Please let me know what you think about both Coach Henderson and the defensive coaching staff as a whole down below. If you did happen to enjoy this video, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for all your continued support. You're all awesome, and as always, take care and fight on.